Hey Garf Gang, welcome to a Path of Exile video. I know the content's been dried up lately, but for me there's not really much going on in Path of Exile, so I just thought I'd show you what I'd been up to these past few days / weeks. I don't do Gauntlet. I might do it in 3.19, but I doubt it, so there's been no content for me to record there. I put the meme build together the other day, so that's done. We've got Anomaly coming up soon. Link in the card description for that video if you're not sure what that's about. It's a nice private league, just to spend some time. So what I've done, I'm just going to go through what I've been doing really by just showing you. So this character is my totem character. I'm back with Sentinels. Now we know Sentinels are not going to go core. I just picked this up off the floor. There's my controller. You can take a screenshot if you want to. My Enlighten level 3 is on my Delve character at the moment. We're going to go and have a look at that at the moment. I'll link all the PoBs for all these characters as they are in the document below. So you can just see if you want to see a build, or you can go straight to the document now and just have a look and grab the PoB and off you go. So what this character has been doing, he's been dying to Metamorphs, Remnant of Corruption, Sentinel buff, Essence mobs, and yeah, that's about it really. But what they've been doing is running 4 Toxic Sewers maps and then 4 lair maps and rinse and repeat. And because of the way I've set my Atlas passive up, which is coming on shortly, I'm making all the thing. These are all the other T16 maps that I've converted into Residence maps. Residence is my favourite map to run on my Righteous Fire Delhi Farm character in Standard. So I've set up the Residence maps and I'll run all of those once 3.18 finishes, but before 3.19 starts and the map changes. So that's the plan. So with that in mind, that's what this character does, and all it does is run Nico missions, which is why they're really low, and we farm Sulfite for our Delve character. We also killed the Lich in there on this character, and we killed the Grand Architect that was in here. So yeah, that's what this character's been doing. Now I'd run about 8 maps a day, so it's 2 cycles. 4 in, max out the sulfate, change character, like I'm going to do now. Oh, the Atlas passive tree. But there it is. So what we've done, we've got Jun, and we've got Blight, Metamorph, Essence all over the place, Blight, and because I'm desperately trying to level these characters up, we've also taken Wellspring of Creation, which is surprising, and I still die to Metamorphs, probably because of the life. And then all these little nodes are the 2% for getting an additional map, which is why I'm able to generate so many maps. Because I'm not using... I probably should take this as well, actually, but anyway. Because I'm not using fragments, I am just running the maps white. All these extra points are able to give me the maps I need. I don't really want to be alking because I just can't bother to roll my maps at this stage of the league. Let's go and have a look at the Delve character. I don't think anything's changed on this character, but you can compare the PoBs if you're that interested. The Delve character, good news on the Delve front. We are going to go to Delve because it's a Delve character, not the hideout. Ba-ding! Okay, so we are now level 90. In fact, we just hit level 90. We got a little bit way through and then died. But, whatever. We got our level 3 Enlighten that I've been sharing with the other character. And I spent an Exalted Orb on this Enlighten to start leveling it up. I do have some Enlightens in Standard, but I need 2 on this character, and it was just easier to buy it and level it because I'm doing so much XP with these 2 characters. We've got all our auras on, apart from our Spider, Aspect of Spider. Once this hits level 2, I should be able to put that on, and we're away. There's been some changes to the character. I can't remember which ones. I got a new wand. The other wand was crap, so we brought a new one. I've put in a sulphur flask with blood that I brought as well. We've changed the passive tree a lot on this character. It now looks like this. This node here is to satisfy our strength requirements of 155. With that node we hit 157. Once this character gets transferred to standard, because like the totem character these characters will be kept, I'll have a reshuffle of the points, pick up that dual node, and then be able to use my Thread of Hope that's waiting for me for this character. So it'll probably undergo a little passive point shuffle. So this character then runs a delve with the sulfite farmed on a totem character, and it also is leveling up the gems for my gem collection, which are here. Currently leveling up all these gems, and then they'll go over to standard as well for my collection. I've already sorted my stash out, ready for the transfer. So we've got map tab, we've got our map running, we've got all our cards. Collection sat there waiting to go over. Fragment tab is all kind of done, it's just sitting there gaining the tabs. Breach, scarabs, nothing in Maven. Oh, apparently a couple of invites. Whatever. Essence tab, I haven't sold it. I was waiting for a significant amount of essences, and then I just couldn't be bothered. So there's probably a good few X sat in here, and I just can't be asked to sell it. There's my tab, all the stuff's going over to standard, and there's some stuff I'm just hoping to sell, including all the power cores, because I'm not like messing around with those, so I'm hoping someone might come along and buy all those. And there's my here is Aya 5 white socket 30% quality. Here is I am trying to sell / don't want to sell. There's my 3.18 collection. It's all ready, and there's all the empty tabs, so it's all ready to go over to standard. And speaking of which, let's go and have a look at those characters. If you're familiar with my channel, you know how much I love Heist, and you are familiar with this build, so I'm not going to spend too long on it. This is the Baby Heister. This bounces from level 59 to 60 and then resets back down to 59. There's all the contracts, and there's some of the stuff I've got for the Chaos recipe, and that's this character. That's it. That's all it does. Because this character's in standard, and the way I play Heist, the tree may look different to the Heist build that I supplied on the Heist Google Doc. Personal preference, and I've got the gear I need. So I've got the perfect Simplex amulet. Okay, they're not tier 1 rolls, but it's got everything I need, so it'll do. From there, each morning, once I've done the Chaos recipe, I've got my currency, I hand it in. I then switch over to my blueprint farmer, which has undergone a lot of changes. I'm going to spend some time on this one. I will do the PoB below, but I want to just go through this one. So with this character, I was finding that the amount of speed I had was a little bit hard for me to control with the Queen of the Forest. Also, I was dying a little bit sometimes, or my life would go really low, and then I'd regen. I think I died twice on this character in the right, let me just show you what I'm farming. This character only farms level 80 plus contracts. This quad tab was full. I had about 4 rows of level 80s and about 4 rows of 81s, a few rows of 82s, and the rest were 83s, plus the blueprints as well. So this was full of all those contracts and all those blueprints, and I've been very slowly working my way through it, which is why this character is now level 94. And out of all of those contracts, once I get to the 83s, especially now with the Archnem mobs, I was finding that the damage was a little bit too much to handle. So I changed the tree and I changed the gear. We got rid of the Queen of the Forest and we slapped in a Saintly Chainmail, which I had in my stash. I whacked it with some Eldritch Currency and got those rolls. I whacked the pair of boots with some Eldritch Currency and got those rolls. I then went out and brought a Caustic Arrow bow, which now looks like this. So we've got our Caustic Arrow, Mirage Archer, Void Manipulation, which should be Awoke. I don't have a spare one at the moment. Awoke, Vicious Proj, and then Efficacy and Decay. Now, because I'm running this bow with an Ashes, I can then 6-link my auras, and additionally with the Archnem mods and level 83 contracts, the Toxic Rain Totem wasn't surviving. I was constantly having to resummon it. It will get hit a couple of times and they'd go. Because the tree doesn't support any totem abilities, the totems die so very quick. So because I've got an Ashes and the Caustic Arrow bow, I'm able to then use Caustic Arrow as my main damage and then have a 6-link aura set up. So we're back to Grace, Malevolence, Purity of Elements, Determination, a level 3 Enlighten, and Defiance banner with a Sovereignty Ashes. I keep having to point it out because this character does have an okay rolled Ashes. I wouldn't say good because it's not 20% efficiency, but 19 is pretty cool. So once I did that, I then changed the tree. This is going to look totally different to the one on the Google Docs I supply. I cut out a lot of movement speed and some damage. Put back in the standard 6 cluster setup. So we've got our chaos damage large cluster. We've got our medium cluster, which I took Eldritch Inspiration for the extra mana and the mana regen, and then Unwavering Evil, and then Eye to Eye and Repeater on our projectile damage medium cluster. We've then got a blessed 2 stat small cluster life cluster with 25% increased effect of fire resistance and regen of life, and then a 3 passive slot mana reservation cluster with mortifying aspect for our malevolence. So there's a lot of investment into mana reservation on this character. We've got charisma with the 15% increased mana reservation, and as mentioned before, we've also got sovereignty, which is the triple silver anointed on our Ashes. After doing that, I then came up to get Sentinel, the Sentinel node, and came down through Art of the Gladiator to get Bravery and the life nodes either side of that. We came down and took the entire thick skin wheel. We kept our onslaught wheel, graceful assault onslaught wheel. Yeah, I picked out my Watcher's Eye I've had in my stash for a while. Now I know we're not running Vitality at the moment, but that doesn't mean if anyone does hit us, which is a fair occurrence now with the Archnem mods, they got 30% chance of being blinded, and we've got the increased movement speed while affected by Grace. And at some point I'm going to get an unset ring and put in Vitality, if I can find some way of getting it into the build, because as you can see we've only got 15 mana left, and it might mean I have to life tap my Caustic Arrow and sacrifice the last of my mana on a Vitality to get the life regen. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet. I don't know. This also does mean with all those changes our elemental resistances are through the roof. The main reason we've got Purity of Elements is to be ailment immune. I couldn't really fit the points in on the tree to get the ailment immune, and I didn't want to change all the gear to get ailment immunity, so we ended up with slapping a Purity of Elements because it's the easiest way. But it does mean we are ridiculously overcapped on our res, which means I could probably change some of the gear and drop some of the resistance for better rolls. or I don't know, damage or defenses or multi-mods and stuff. I don't know yet. I'm not sure what's going to happen. But it does mean if we get hit with any of the new elemental resistance modifiers from the Archnem mods, it doesn't matter. Because we've got so much overcap res, it's irrelevant. So that's that one. We'll then move on to the Death's Oath character. Not much has changed on this one, I don't think. The biggest change is I've put my auras in my Viridia's Veil. Defiance, Banner, Determination, Malevolence and Enlighten. And then put the Despair down in our gloves here. Which has allowed us then to do a lot more damage and not die. However, because this character is mainly used for blight maps or maps that have a blighting counter on, I don't have any at the moment, it dies occasionally, not to blight but to other reasons, or I'm just being tired and stupid. So we are perpetually stuck at level 96. I'm hoping to change that at some point and maybe get to level 97. We will see what happens. So this is what the next character does. It just literally farms blighted maps, or it does encounters that my other characters can't do, like if I get a particularly nasty essence mob, and the character dies, I just switch over to this character. It comes in and boom boom boom, a few shots of the old Corsair Caro and the Death's Oath, and it dies. So that's what that character does. This is the mean build, which has undergone a lot of changes. So we'll just pop in there. So, if you haven't seen my video on the mean build, this character is based around 2 unique items. Gruthkul's Pelt, which removes spells. So you're not dealing any spell. You can't use any skills that are spells. And because we are not stacking evasion a lot, we have taken a Dissolution of Faith, because that's right, there's none of our gear has got energy shield on there, so there was no point having energy shield, so we took Dissolution of Faith to give us the life. We've got blood magic, so we have no mana, so we've got no mana, we have no energy shield, and our evasion is not worth mentioning. Because we can't use auras, all the auras are spells, so no auras, none. We got rid of the Vengeance that was on the character. We've put the totem down in our boots, Ancestral War Chief totem down in our boots. We have moved the Enduring Cry and cut it down to a 2-link, because the 4-link, half the stuff wasn't doing anything. I copied this build from a 3.11 internet build guide, and so it's a work in progress, which is why I'm mentioning all these changes. Nothing's changed to the Cyclone setup in the chest. We've put our Leap Slam in our helm with Leap Slap, Endurance Charge on Stun, faster attacks and a Cruelty, and that is doing wonders for our DPS. We also dug out my 6-link Aziri's Disfavor from my collection, which is doing way more damage than the paltry 300 DPS 2-handed axe that we did have. And this now holds our Rage Vortex, buffed by Brutality, Melee Fizz, Conk, Close Combat and Rage. So we jump in, we Cyclone, if there's a rare we drop Rage Vortex, and other than that we just carry on with our lives, dropping totems when needed. The only defense this character's got is its life ball. It has got no armor and no evasion. So if we get hit, we are relying on a Dissolution of Faith and the 2 seconds, sorry. So we get hit once our life is about down here. We Leap Slam away, wait the 2 seconds for Dissolution to stop, hit our Enduring Cry, get our life back, and then leap back in again. It's fun. Excuse me. It's not necessarily good. I've died so many times, but The deaths are mainly due to me not reading essence mob modifiers, opening the mod essence mob, and then dying because I haven't realised that this character can't do it yet. Although at Serious Disfavour is a good weapon, it's not that great. It's only coming in about 600 DPS, so I need a better weapon. I need to figure out the skills, blah 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 blah. It's good fun though, and it dies against King Harbies, because this is standard and I've got King Harbies allocated, and as soon as I see one I jump into it thinking it's a normal one, realise too late it's a King Harby, and die. So yeah, that's that one. It's a fun build, I'm enjoying it. And then lastly in standard we have my Ring of Fire, which is of course the Righteous Fire build. This character's main job is to do Delirium mob maps. That's it. That's all it's been doing. I had loads of maps in here, resident palace or resident thing maps in here, with a ton of compasses. Only 3 uses because I forgot to do allocate the right node. So I had loads of compass, and it's chock full of all of that. This is the kind of map it's been running. Not white, of course. They are well rolled. And I go in there and I clear it out, and I've been having a ton of fun. This build was aided to be put together via PoB with Baylor Mage, and I'm so thankful he helped me put it together. It has got an Ashes, it has got a Aegis Aurora, which is probably going to get nerfed in 3.19. We've got a well-rolled Legacy of Fury. We've got my one and only Headhunter. This Headhunter came from the last league where you needed to have Nemesis on the map device in order to roll Headhunter. I hadn't got one. I really wanted one. I had a stack of about 15 ancient orbs. I ripped through them. It was 2 days before the end of the league. I got down to my last one. I prayed to Chris Wilson, hit it, bam, Headhunter. I've divined it a few times and it's came out pretty bad, but it is my Headhunter. It's the one and only Headhunter I've had, and it's now in the Righteous Fire character, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I don't care if Headhunter gets nerfed. This character will always have a Headhunter, because quite frankly without the decks on here it can't exist. So yeah, there's that. That's the last build really. Oh, I'm having a little bit of an experiment. There are some times where I want to play Path of Exile. I just don't want to deal with trades, and for that I have got into solo self-found standard, and I'm building an occultist flask thrower poison concoction, which in solo self-found, and it's been a ton of fun. I'm only level 11. I'm taking my time, man. Good fun. And then if you're following my channel, you know about my hardcore progress. Follow that progress to see what's going on there. I know this has been a bit of a boring video. There's no chapters. I thank you to that YouTube subscriber who gave me the thing. I have figured out now how to do chapters. I'm just not doing it in this video because I'm lazy. So thank you so much for that advice. Any other tips to help me? As you can see, I've changed my audio setup, so hopefully the audio is better in this video. Please don't hesitate to comment about any advice. I am still a noob. I've only been doing YouTube content now for about a year, maybe a bit longer, and I'm still learning. Every day I'm learning. I've learned how to edit my videos now, so yay! Next, I promise in 3.19 I'm going to figure out thumbnails. I will try and get that narrowed down for 3.19. It's something I really want to do. It's just having the time to do it. My kid's off school now for the summer holidays here in UK, so I'm hoping that I get a chance to do that even though he's at home a lot. So thank you for listening. I know it's been a long video, not much, no gameplay, but I hope this is something you enjoy, and like I said, check below for the Google Doc. It'll have all the current PoBs for all the builds other than the hardcore. If you want to know what's going on in the hardcore, you're going to have to check the video series. Have fun in Rogue Harbour. Stay safe.